The crazy one right here, bro. That's trippy, bro. You about to go crazy on this, man. I want to see this go dumb. Let's go, bro.
Fuck your podcast if it ain't the fucking plug. I ain't trying to conversate if you ain't showing love. I be hella confident, I got it out the mud. You be capping, you ain't like that, homie, what the fuck? I be running through these racks, that's my fitness. Disassociate if you are not square business. Sprinting out of pocket, QB scramble. Wanna talk on the panel.
Just a fact.
Always talking, they gon' hear me, they ain't got a choice. All that typing in the comments, you ain't got a voice. Saying what you want and hoping that you hurt me. I believe the bullies like I'm the king of New Jersey. I'ma just blast, look at the way that I smash. Hopping this shit and I'm fast, I ain't gon' crash. Leave a nigga down on his ass, cause a nigga thinking that he bad. Looking at the drop of the top, a nigga gon' fly, cause he really wanna take my spot. Boy, you not, you ain't even coming up close, cause my shit coming out gross.
Cross living their life, get him up in their feelings. We put him on blast with the Plug podcast, but he know he be spitting at the realest. And when he see us walking at the top, then he knows real shit. Swimming in the money pool, cause we
salute to everybody. You know what? This shit is nuts.
Why bother trying to speak up? A lot of people say they can do this, but then they freeze up. You're talking all the shit, but when we pull up, you say hold up, homie.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the Plug podcast. Let's go, y'all.
Fuck your podcast if it ain't the fucking plug. I ain't trying to conversate if you ain't showing love. I be hella confident, I got it out the mud. You be capping, you ain't like that, homie, what the fuck? I be running through these racks, that's my fitness. I be running through these racks, that's my fitness.
Man, that was dirty, y'all. You did another one, boy. You crazy with it, man. Hey, man, man, y'all better catch up, man. We running this race, man. Hey, man, be like mustard, man, and catch up, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this is dumb. What?
Man, nowadays, man, we lack motivation, man. I'm here to give it back, man. At the end of the day, man, you can do what you want to do, but you got to learn to be great. I'm tired of people out here playing in the game, man. You're taking up space and opportunity. So I'm here to get this real game back to y'all. If you don't like it, get out the way, man. Because we're on a whole new era, man. And we ain't going to be stopped. Real spill. Let's get it.
It's the Plug Podcast. Fuck you, man. You already know what's going on, nigga. CrossFit, all shit. Hop up in
Yeah.
the represent the truth.
Let's go, y'all. Welcome.
Shit, I play black and slow.
What?
Slow and black. If you try to run some game.
What?
That shit will not last.
What?
Woken dope without the nonsense. Mine is very me, I'm in my conscience. Disregard the hate inside the comments. Plug your heart and make it start to vomit. This the vibe that everybody wanted.
Hey, Mike, and guess what?
This the vibe that everybody wanted.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
What?
Don't you try to stop my job.
Don't try to stop it, y'all.
Yeah, we finna get this bill.
Hey,
Only real ones in my squad.
256-205, stand up.
Mad cause you ain't got motion. Niggas softer than lotion. My drip wetter than the ocean. Alabama where I'm posted. Mad cause you ain't got motion. Niggas softer than lotion. My drip wetter than the ocean.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, I'm with Cross, we finna ride. Niggas talking shit, but we gon' thrive.
Let's go, y'all.
Running up another line. Can you hear me though?
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey, hey.
hey. Hey, hey. CrossFit, march shit. What?
Represent the truth, and you know we finna talk shit. I play black and slow, but not slow and black. If you try to run some game, that shit will not last. Very woke and dope without the nonsense.
Salute.
I'm in my conscience. Disregard the hate inside the comments. Plug your heart and make it start to vomit. This the
This is about everybody wanted.
I said, this the vibe that everybody wanted.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Don't you try to stop my job. Yeah, we finna get this bill. Only real ones.
Salute to everybody, man. We back at it like crack addicts, man. It's your boy Cross, man. Boss Cross, big CEO, man, across your heart, man. We back at it late night, man. Hey, man, I got something I'm going to put on y'all stain. I'm going to put a stain on your brain and make you think a little bit more, man. So you know me, man. We all over the place. Early today, we got into our conspiracy theory. We did all this other stuff, man. But today, we're going to go into a little bit of history, right? So I'm down here in Alabama, right? Not too far from me is what it's called Scottsboro, right? And in Alabama, there's a lot of history, dog. Like I did not know. And I told Mikey about it's a lot of different history, the language. A lot of people from Oklahoma came down here doing the back in those days. But let's fast forward, all right? Let me paint this picture. Like they said on Golden Girls, Sicily, picture it. You know what I'm saying? But no, picture it. Back in the days, some guys, they looking for jobs. They on the train. White woman says they did something to her. They wasn't even trying to holler at her. She made a big ass deal. Bro, what they took these young men, salute to everybody coming in, salute to everybody coming in. What they took these boys through, man, this woman's going to explain. Salute to this professor from Memorial University, all right? I want y'all to get into this. This is about the Scottsboro boys, right? And what they went through. I mean, when I tell y'all the stuff that they went through and trying to clear their names for something they did not do. So we're going to take a blast back into the history. You know what I'm saying? A blast from the past, however you want to call it. You know, we're going to have people coming in here. Salute to everybody that's going to be coming in rocking with us tonight. We just getting started. And I want y'all to see the history. And we're going to go back and we're going to talk about it. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started.
One of the most interesting, crazy, incredible cases of American jurisprudence deals with Scottsboro. Again, you can't understand unless you've got the context of the Great Depression. You have folks riding the rails looking for work just because they can't afford to, I'll go find this job here. So they're just hopping on a train and riding in, trying to find work wherever they can find work.
All right, so she painting the picture for everybody, right? Back then, people used to hop on trains back in the days, right? So people would hop on the trains back then and they would look for work. And this was all people, right? So I want y'all to understand that.
Well, what happens in the Scottsboro case is you have 9 black teenagers, and some of them get in a fight on the train with a couple of white guys.
All right, so those are the actual Scottsboro boys, right? Those are the guys that the whole thing was about, went down in history, right? Yeah, Jen. So I'm just breaking it down, letting everybody understand.
The train stops in Scottsboro, because this fight has broken out. As they're getting off the train, as the sheriff's folks are there, the white guys get off, the black guys get off, and 2 white women get off. And the townsfolk are looking around going, oh. And the white women, because you've got black guys and white women in Alabama in the early 1930s, I believe 19.
So 1930s, early 1930s, late, early 1940s. That's what she's saying. So think about it, those times right there, right? So imagine a bunch of black dudes getting off the train in the same train area with the white women in Alabama.
32. It's like, whoa. And the women, Victoria Price, Ruby Bates, yell rape and say that these 9 black teenagers raped them. The town immediately.
So the town went crazy, y'all. So these 2 women, Ruby and the other woman, get off the train because they get to arguing with the men. I think that the women, they probably said something to them and they probably checked them. But I digress. Let's keep going.
Immediately took the 9 kids, hauled them in jail. There was a 1-day trial for these 9 kids that range from the age of like 12 or 13 to 17.
Now think about that. 1 day trial. Waiting at 1 day trial, dog. That's crazy. They want these 2 white women screamed rape, and they had a 1 day trial. Yeah, facts.
Known as the Scottsboro Boys. In this trial, Victoria Price described a horrific rape. Well, the problem was that the doctor who had examined these women said, there's no evidence of rape here. But that didn't stop the jury. The doctor now didn't testify that there was no evidence of rape, but it was very clear that he knew there was no evidence of rape. And he had told folks there was no evidence of rape.
Now think about that. Now, like, this shit is crazy. This shit that just blows my mind, right? So you telling me that, okay, 1 day trial, and I'm telling y'all, this is probably about Scottsboro, probably about 15, 20 minutes from me. Now, I didn't even know this, right? I'm looking up this history, just, curious about around here in the surrounding areas, and I wanted to bring this to y'all. So, doctor says there's no way they could have raped him. They didn't find no evidence of it. Listen to this woman explain it. Salute to her, too.
These 9 black teenagers were convicted, and rape was an executable offense in the 1930s. And so in a 1 day trial, 8 of them were sentenced to die in the electric chair.
That's crazy. Come on, y'all. Chris, oh, y'all, listen, salute to my big bro. This is my big bro right here. Y'all don't know. Since I was a kid, I was taught these innocent. Hey, that's my big bro. Salute to Chris Robinson right there. That's my ride or die right, y'all. Y'all salute my man right there. That's a real king right there. Already. Yeah, Chris know. He live here. That's my guy right there. He know. Thank you, Chris, for jumping in on the channel. I appreciate it. 103 people in here. Let's go, y'all. Let's get these numbers up.
The youngest was sentenced to life imprisonment in an Alabama prison. Now, there are multiple problems with that story. One, Ruby Bates, one of the women who had yelled rape, recanted, said it didn't happen. Now, let me tell you what really happened here. We're prostitutes.
See, they don't tell that story. See, the 2 women, you see what I'm saying? So the 2 women, they were prostitutes, and really what they was really trying to do is holler at them dudes. They was trying to holler at them young dudes, and I honestly think they turned them down. That's what that's what I think. You feel me? So, again, let's keep on building, y'all. 137 in the building, let's go.
And the Mann Act, the Federal Mann Act, says that we were afraid of because you can't cross state lines for immoral purposes. Since we crossed over out of Tennessee into Alabama, we're afraid that we might get brought up on federal charges. So we were just trying to protect ourselves. And so we just said, rape. The problem was that first the Communist Party's legal wing hopped in there and took this case up to the Supreme Court to try to protect the Scottsboro Boys. Then the NAACP hopped in it. But a major Supreme Court decision was the Powell v. Alabama decision that came after this. Because
yeah, so this is crazy. And Chris know this story. And like I said, a lot of us, when we grew up around this, around in this area and shit, like, this is crazy. Think about it. Let's go back again. 2 women that's tricking. Yeah, Chris, I already know, Chris. We're going to have Chris on here too, Chris. I'm going to drop that link, and you're more than welcome to follow the instructions. Get on the link, man. You already know. You family. So this is the crazy part that people don't, this is a real lesson. People don't understand this, Chris. So we got 2 tricks. They end up tricking out of it. They really went, I think personally, what they did was they went to the front. The white dudes, they didn't have the money. Salute Jersey Rich. I see you in the building, King. Salute to everybody coming in here. 162 in the building. Let's hit this like button. That's right, Chuck D. Hit the like button. Let's go. Let's run these numbers up tonight.
Think about this. You're on trial for your very life for a crime that never happened.
A crime that never happened, bound by execution at that time, from ages from 12 and up, bro. This is crazy.
Your court-appointed attorneys, one is the town drunk. I believe at the time he may have had a blood alcohol level of 0.2. I mean, lit.
So think about it. The person that's going to try you is the town drunk. This is like some Mayberry. Yeah, this shit like Mayberry all over. Like, come on, y'all. Peep this game.
The other attorney in a capital case is probably in about the fourth stages of senility. So one of your attorneys is senile, looking for butterflies, and the other one is drunk, seeing butterflies.
Hey, she kicked it real. So you got one looking for butterflies and one seeing butterflies. So you think about it, y'all. So these are the people that are trying these young men back in the 1930s, actually 1932, back in Scottsboro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. And you know, and this is just history, you know what I'm saying? I want to bring to y'all, because again, this is stuff that's in my area that, you know, we sit back and it's so much history around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking tonight to my guy, Chris. I want to say, man, we was talking about his family, right? They're the first grocery store / restaurant. I don't even know what you call it, but it was an Owl's Burger over in the hood, dog. When I tell y'all, you know, RIP to his mom and his dad, man, like those people, salute, King, salute. Those people was the best people in the world. Me and Chris was chopping it up tonight, and like his family should be a historical mark. Like, y'all don't understand. Us growing up, it's a lot of families that salute to Chris, you know what I'm saying, to the Robinson family. They fed, man. His daddy fed so many people. And we talked about that tonight. You know what I mean? Like, y'all don't even know, man. That's why I said it's people that really love me, and I know y'all love me, but it's people that I grew up, that love me in real life, that they family did. When I look back now from my childhood as an adult, man, they did some historical things around here, man. Some historical things. So let's get back to this. So what we got right here, we got again, we got a person that sees butterflies and one looking for butterflies.
Now, the Supreme Court, even the Supreme Court in the 1930s went, really? No, come on.
Right.
Come on. This is just too much even for us. And they remanded the case. They kicked the case back down. Now, you got to try these fellas again.
See what I'm saying? Even look, once they found out them girls was tricking, like, we all know what they was trying to do. They was trying to get them dudes money. They knew them young dudes was coming. I mean, 12 years old, but they didn't want to get caught by them other guys, them white dudes.
Well, what happens now that they've got a real legal team is that they began to construct the train and found out that many of the Scottsboro boys weren't even in the same car as the women. So
y'all hear that? So even some of them wasn't even in the car with the women. 155 in the building, y'all. Come on, let's get these numbers up tonight. We giving y'all some history right now, Alabama history. You feel me? This is real stuff that happened in real life back in the 1930s. There's a lot of things I'm gonna bring to y'all, but this is one of the things that really stuck out.
Can a rape happen if the guys aren't in that car? They were convicted once again. Case goes back up to the Supreme Court. By the time there were so many egregious constitutional errors in this case. that by the time the Scottsboro case is done, and eventually they start getting let out one by one by one.
Because they didn't have a case. People don't understand at that time, they didn't have a case. Like it kept getting kicked back down, dog. That's what's so crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is unreal. Unreal stuff, dog, but what really happened.
One by one. It took first 18 years
Salute, Mr.
for the
Smith.
last one. Imagine being in prison, in an Alabama prison. You are 17. You get out when you're 35.
That's crazy. 17, and you're getting out at 35. Come on, fam. Damn. And you know what? And let's fast forward now when we talk about what the prison systems and what they're doing right now. And y'all see it it's nothing no different. It's a cookie cutter. You know, like the old saying, if it's broke, why fix it? If it ain't broke, why fix it? You know what I'm saying? Like this shit right here, this is the stuff that we grew up. Y'all don't understand Alabama history. Man, we had Alabama history. Chris know what I'm talking about when I grew up here, when I moved here. And bruh, like it was crazy. They talked about all that stuff. I know they did in everywhere else, but it was crazy down here. You know what I'm saying? Me playing ball, having to get police escorted to Coleman, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Where they had signs out there, dark is no dark is after dark. You know what I'm saying? It shit used to be crazy, bro. Real talk.
For a crime that never happened. A crime where one of the women has recanted. A crime where the evidence demonstrates that you couldn't have done this thing. This would be called an egregious wrong. You also had several who had escaped. Imagine trying to escape from an Alabama chain gang.
That's crazy. And you know what? Them young boys, they probably was doing them all so dirty. That's why a lot of them probably escaped. You know what I'm saying? If you had to look at it, the way they did them, like think about it again. Let's think about this. 1 day trial. And then you send them there. You got a town drunk and a damn person that's senile.
But they managed to get out. Michigan refused. The Alabama tracked down up into Michigan. Michigan refused. And think about this, a state refusing to extradite a convicted felon.
See what I'm saying? Even Michigan, everybody even knew that, man. So the one dude, he gets all the way up towards Michigan, man, they refuse to extradite him. They're like, bro, when he probably told the story, like, damn, bro, like, man, I ain't do it. They said I raped. Man, there ain't no damn all them little boys raped all that, no 2 white women, dog, on a damn train. This shit crazy.
To Alabama, because Michigan looked up and said, this is wrong. This is just wrong. The last one was pardoned by Governor George Wallace.
Now, y'all know your boy Governor George Wallace. Now, we all know how they, allegedly said he was. So you telling me if this man pardoned the one, like it had to get that bad. That's crazy.
Sometime, I believe, in the 1980s. So imagine again, basically living in the shadows for almost 40, 50 years because of something that never happened.
How do y'all think y'all feel, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that's man, that hurt as a I ain't gonna lie, dog. As a black man, when I saw that, dog, like that bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of brothers in there, you know what I'm saying, that's locked up. But that hurts. That I'm talking about everybody else knew this. They knew that. They just didn't want to admit that these 2 women was promiscuous and that they was soliciting. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I mean, let that make sense. And these are young men that was just getting on the railroad. Like they said, back then, you could just hop on the railroad. You can go on the railroad and you can go look for work. And just them going on there, man, got them in that damn trouble like that, dog. That's crazy. So let's keep going, y'all. My mom used to talk about, yeah, George Wallace, hey, he wasn't no joke. He was the one that blocked them kids from coming into the Alabama schools. But a lot of people don't know a fun fact with this, right? Do you know the only time in Alabama, even though they said George Wallace was like that, like I said, he had his intentions, but the only time, and y'all can look it up, the Confederate flag was flown in Alabama, in Birmingham, when your boy Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, landed, because he represented the Confederate. Only time is up. People don't know that. He represented the Confederate at the end of the day. But, that's just, that's what they said, allegedly. But George Wallace was something else. I'm not even going to front. The way that, the way he did people and the way he felt, he just felt like, hey, separate and keep your ass over there.
The charge of rape. I mean, Scottsboro speaks to so much in the criminal justice system. But what you also get in this is a series of Supreme Court decisions dealing with the right to competent counsel. Thank God. And the right to have a jury that is really truly a jury of your peers.
Right. See, they didn't get none of that. They didn't get none of that, man. The way they treated them boys, you see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, completely injustice of how they treated them young boys. And, we heard about the stories about it. And, and it took years, and y'all don't understand, it took years and years and years of them having to go back and forth until they was finally released. And they spent all them damn years in jail fighting for something that was not true at all. Like, at all. Yeah. It's sad. So, that being said, you know what I'm saying? We broke this down, and we're going to go back a little bit. Let's go back and let's break this down. And let's hear, again, let's break these women down. And I want to hear what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? We all know during that time, it was a pretty messed up situation. But do y'all think it was warranted? Which I know is not, all the way warranted. But for us to say, what do y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it.
This program is brought to you by Emory.
One of the most interesting, crazy, incredible cases of American jurisprudence deals with Scottsboro. Again, you can't understand unless you've got the context of the Great Depression. You have folks riding the rails looking for work just because they can't afford to, I'll go find this job here. So they're just hopping on a train and riding in, trying to find work wherever they can find work.
My thing is, during that time, I wonder how many people actually went through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this just happened to be something big because at that time, again, I think what it was is that it wasn't, white folks was not used to seeing black folks on the train, especially coming through Alabama during that time. I'm pretty much sure. You know what I'm saying? Because it was foreign to them, and especially they coming to get real work or taking work from them.
Well, what happens in the Scottsboro case is you have 9 black teenagers, and some of them get in a fight on the train with a couple of white guys. The train stops in Scottsboro, because this fight has broken out. As they're...
Yeah, so many fights. What you say, Chris? Chris said so many brothers and sisters went through. That's what I'm saying, Chris. Even us, us growing up, even around here, you know what I'm saying? Even through the high school days, bro, it was crazy. You know that. Even on the highways, remember coming up, man, if you make eye contact with the police going down the highway, especially going through the Coleman, we had to go there because we had to play ball. Chris know that. You know what I'm saying? This shit used to be crazy, bro. When I sit back now, let me tell you right now, the South is really changed. It's migrated a little bit more, but it's still the undertone.
Getting off the train as the sheriff's folks are there, the white guys get off, the black guys get off, and then two white women get off. And the townsfolk are looking around going, oh.
You said, what you say, Jen? Jen said, can y'all imagine having to do that daily, looking for work, getting turned down because of your skin? Hey, it happens, Jen. That's the mess up part. That's, I ain't gonna lie. That was one of the reasons what made me switch over and start doing the clothes and stuff. It's, having to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Having your resume, like my man was just telling me tonight. He said, man, having to check somebody, you know what I'm saying? But the good thing about it, having somebody to back you because you're right. You know what I mean? But yeah, every single day. That's why it's hard to go out here and stay focused, because what the only safe haven you have, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, as a black man, is your safe haven of your home. You know what I'm saying? Because every day you're looked at. It's never a dull moment. Put it like that. I'll put it like that. No matter where you go, it's never a dull moment. Whether you at the store, driving. Slugger, salute to you, Slugger. I got my other brother in here, Slugger, in the game. He up in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Spending what money you have on the train fare. Yeah, having to sacrifice. I mean, you know what, Jen, at the same time, it's like, some of my partners, you know what I'm saying, and Chris know, you know what I'm saying, we'll say, like, allegedly, like, a lot of times we was pushed back in those days to doing stuff that we really didn't want to do. We was all smart. You know what I'm saying? But it was like the odds was against us. So by the odds being against us, we did what was necessary. Like all my homeboys, you know what I'm saying? I don't know no homeboy, knock on wood, is doing bad. You know what I'm saying? They didn't switch their life up. Salute, Lola. They didn't switch their life up. But other than that, it's always having, like I said again, my guy, Chris, you know what I'm saying? His family, like I said, they used to have a convenience store / food place. They are known famously for their burgers. Anybody in the whole city would know that. Who's an Al's burger? That's an Al's burger. I still have never tasted a burger like that ever in my life. People used to walk. There used to be lines wrapped all around. And that's why I said, but those are the people, the forgotten people, that get forgotten in this world, that established and made certain things. And that's the sad part. You feel me? Like, that's the shit I don't like. So let's keep going a little bit. Slugger, what we talking about is the Scottsboro boys. I don't know if you know about that, but in Scottsboro, Alabama, these were young boys that got on the train, back then during the Great Depression, got on the train, they was looking, come through Alabama. Well, two women was on the train, on one of the trains, on one of the sections of it or whatnot. And I guess, they were some hoes. Yeah, they were some hoes. I ain't gonna give them a pass. They were some hoes, probably trying to solicit to a bunch of 12 and 17-year-olds. They get out, they scream rape. And one day, Slugger, they messed around, dog, and took them to trial in one day. I think them white dudes mad. They probably like, yeah, they probably did smash. And they like, no, even everybody said it. Doctors, I feel like giving up, but I know, no, you can't. You can't give up, Jim. That's where the marathon comes in at. You feel me? Life is not just a sprint. You know what I mean? It's a marathon. You got to be prepared. You got to be conditioned for it. You got to be ready for it. It ain't like, you got to remember what even the word said. It ain't how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up. You can fall 1,000 times as long as you get up. That's what life is all about. You can't never sell yourself short because of that's what it is. Facts. It's a long run. And I hate to use cliches, but your boy even said it. What your boy said, your boy Forrest Gump said, life is what you make it. You know what I'm saying? Life is like a bowl of chocolates. We have to go through to get through. Come on, Chris. That's real spill. That's true.
And the white women, because you've got black guys and white women in Alabama in the early 1930s, I believe 1932. It's like, whoa. And the women, Victoria Price and Ruby Bates.
So again, we got that Victoria Price and old Miss Ruby Bates. The old Vicky and Ruby. Yeah, Vicky and Ruby was ready. Yeah, they was ready to do something strange for a piece of change. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. Do something strange for a piece of change. A little, you know what I'm saying? A little reach arounds. They was trying to do all types of stuff. And they like, man, I don't want to reach around. Yeah, I don't want you to do nothing strange for a piece of change. You know what I'm saying? I got Ed, you know what I'm saying? I got what you want to say? I got old Merlene. I got Merlene at the crib. Merlene thick. Yeah, Vicky and Ruby. Yeah, Vicky and Ruby, some whole, yeah, they're the whole team. Them some hoes. Man, I can't believe them hoes try to do a reach around.
Yale rape. And say that these 9 black.
And you all know, you got about 9 niggas on the plane. I mean, 9 niggas on the train. They wanted to smash them niggas for free. Yeah, Ruby, yeah, Jen, said old Vicky and Ruby. Yeah, they were some hoes. They wanted to know what it was like. That's what it was. And they wanted to play the game. That's why I said they had to play the game. If they wanted to do something for free, they wanted to probably play it off. They were like, yeah, you know, we pay for it. They like, you know, niggas like, man, we ain't trying to give you nothing for that. You know what I'm saying? That don't even look fire. Yeah, they ain't even look fire, I bet you. And you know, back in those days, and that was the Great Depression. Them bras wasn't even bathed correctly. Let's be honest, dog. They probably was funky. They probably was right. Yeah, the whole team. They was an all-star whole team. They was like lot lizards. Oh, shit. These hoes were some lot lizards. Yeah, they was some lot lizards. I ain't gonna front. They was lot lizards, and they was mad. They was mad because they was right. And then, you know, you seen, I showed y'all that I'm going to show y'all that one time with that other movie. I think I can pull it off. But yeah, the one I told y'all about, the woman, they made her look like that. You know what I'm saying? The black woman with the big butt. Yeah, they was lot lizards. There was some old school lot lizards. They was some traveling tricks. You can't get me to believe them ain't some traveling tricks. Them hoes was mad. And then they probably got to started to grabbing on the dudes. They probably like, yeah, well, we gonna charge y'all a little more. They like, well, damn, you ain't charged the white dudes a little bit more, but yeah, but it's a bunch of y'all. Yeah, we ain't paying for all that shit. That shit don't even look right. Oh, and back then they had to go raw. Oh yeah. Oh no. Them motherfuckers didn't bathe back then. I ain't bullshit. That shit nasty. Yeah, them some stank bras. Yeah, that was the thing to do back then, Ray. Yeah, give me a break. And they, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they probably went to the front, probably let all types of them white dudes skeet all in them. Then they go, man, them dudes probably like, y'all leaking right now. Like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna do that. You're leaking already. I'm not paying you because you leaking. That's nasty, dog. I'm just saying that's oh my God, let's go, yeah.
Teenagers rape them. The town immediately took the 9 kids, hauled them in jail. There was a 1-day trial for these 9 kids that ranged from the age of like 12 or 13 to 17.
Oh, I said 12 and 13 to 17, man. Look at them young boys. They ain't want to smash them bras. Why they ain't show? You know what made me mad is, I ain't gonna lie. You might as well show the bras then. If they was the ones that got raped or whatever it was, if they got, violated or whatever the case was, explain to me why in the ham and cheese Yeah, they ain't deserve that. No, Jen. I promise you they didn't deserve that. 12 and 13, they mama probably, they probably ain't had no food there. They probably went on ahead and go. My mama go, back then. That's why I respect those young kids back in those days, especially in those days. Man, they 12 and 13, they left their home. They was ready to be grown men. Y'all realize a lot of the kids nowadays ain't even ready to be that grown? Ain't nowhere in the hell they leave their house. They mama in them house. They be scared to leave their mama in them house. That's crazy to me. So let's keep going. 174 in the building, y'all. Hit that like button, y'all.
Known as the Scottsboro Boys. In this trial, Victoria Price described a horrific rape. Well, the problem was that the doctor who had examined these women said, there's no evidence of rape here.
See what I'm saying? Even that doctor examining, dog, they wild. They wrong for that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they just wanted to, here's the messed up problem is they were more mad at the judicial system because they didn't lock them young boys up. But that would be dumb as hell to lock somebody up on a hearsay when you don't have no evidence of them doing it. They didn't do it. They 12 and 13. How you gonna put a 12-year-old in there and say he tried to rape? Come on, bro. Let's be honest. That's dumb as shit. That's why I said back then, these are the people that control the laws. These dumbass people.
But that didn't stop the jury. The doctor now didn't testify that there was no evidence of rape. But it was very clear that he knew there was no evidence of rape. And he had told folks there was no evidence of rape. These 9 black teenagers were convicted. And rape was an executable offense in the 1930s. And so in a one-day trial, 8 of them were sentenced to die in the electric chair.
That's why I said in a one-day trial, you mess around and sentence somebody to die. I mean, like, damn, bro, they ain't had no evidence. Man, I bet his mama told him they was up in there. See, I told you keep your ass down there. I told you don't go down to Leroy and them. Went down there fucking with Leroy and them and little Gerald and them. And I told your ass, stay from down there. Get on them damn trains. See, that's why you got to salute them young kids. I don't care though. I'm being funny, but man, they wouldn't have no money. Like you said, Jen, they had no money. They went down there just on the straight premise of they were going to try to make some money and they were going to feed their family. So, you can't knock somebody for that. You know what I mean? You can't. So let's keep.
The youngest, life imprisonment in an Alabama prison.
Now, how in the hell the youngest at 12 is sentenced to life? Man, that's wrong. Did y'all hear that? The youngest, which is 12, was sentenced to life.
Now, there are multiple problems with that story. One, Ruby Bates, one of the women who had yelled rape, recanted, said it didn't happen. Now, let me tell you what really happened.
Okay, so I'm glad they talked about Ruby Bates. So I got one for y'all. Peep this game, y'all. All right? Yeah, this is insane, but peep this right here. I got one. They're gonna
sponsoring this video.
They go to crossover.
Presents From the very beginning, the justice system made it so these boys were guilty until proven innocent. Before the trials, they were not allowed to seek legal counsel or even contact their families. The trials were...
Ain't that crazy? So they was not even allowed to seek final counsel or even call their families. So their families didn't have... They families that thought they was working. They was still working. That's crazy, ain't it?
completed in just 4 days. Each of those 4 days, a huge crowd of all spectators booed and hollered. The 2 lawyers who defended the boys were not given enough time to prepare for the case and didn't even give closing arguments. The only evidence
All right, this I wanted y'all to see. Here these brides go, dog. Peep the game on the brides. Y'all. Oh, shit. Man, they need to stop playing, dog. Goody, what's good? What's good? Hey, that's them brides right there. That's the brides that said, man, they're like a boy in the left side. Man, ain't no way in the world you paying for that. They playing, dog. They parents put them, somebody should have charged their parents for putting them on the damn, they look like little ass kids they self. What the ham and cheese? Your boy said, what the what? Man, look at that shit, man. That's them 2 boys. They don't even look fully formed, developed as young kids. Man, come on, man. That's nasty.
considered was the testimony of Victoria Price and Ruby Bates. The all-white jury didn't need much time to think about it. Guilty. And because rape was punishable by death in Alabama.
Man, that's crazy. Think about it. They went straight to the rape part, and it's punishable by death. I wonder how many people fucked around and died of that, man. Because, I mean, think about it. A person got to know that. Like, they didn't say they attacked them. They said they raped them. Man, that's some cold-blooded shit, man. Even back in the days, they used to do people, man. To me, that's me personally.
At the time, the 8 oldest boys were sentenced to the electric chair, scheduled to die on July 10th, 1931. Roy Wright, the youngest of the boys, was spared, not due to his innocence, but because the jury couldn't figure out.
See what I'm saying? So that's the young one. That's the youngest one. Check it out. Listen to why they couldn't do it. They couldn't figure it out. Check this out.
Whether or not to sentence him to death or life in prison. So the judge granted him a mistrial. After word got...
So he ended up getting a mistrial, but they end up sentencing him later on to life. Come on, man. This is crazy, man.
Out about the Scottsboro boys, a lot of folks protested, including a large group in Harlem, a neighborhood in New York known for its African-American heritage. Both the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP, and the Communist Party USA offered to help the boys out. Ultimately,
see what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to play a part in that shit. Everybody. Let's go a little bit further. Let's see what they say about these guys right here.
The federal government was now getting involved. The court had to figure out if the due process clause of the 14th...
All right, so there's the 14th Amendment, right? No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges of immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. That's why I said that shit didn't go for us back then, man. That due process shit. Yeah, shout out to Harlem. Yeah, shout out to Harlem. I didn't know that. Shout out to Harlem for doing a protest. Let's go back to hear what they said about Harlem. You're right, Jen.
Alabama Supreme Court, arguing the boys were not given a fair trial. On March 24th, 1932, the Alabama Supreme Court upheld the lower court's ruling on 7 of the 8 remaining Scottsboro boys. It granted a new trial for 13-year-old Eugene Williams because he was so young, and the electric chair might be a bit much for such a youngin'. The Scottsboro boys...
Man, that's crazy. Man, they was trying everything. They even tried to do another trial for him because they knew that was wrong. You can't execute a 13-year-old, man. Come on, man. 168 in the building, y'all. Thank you for rocking with me tonight, man. Salute to everybody coming in, showing love. Let's keep going.
appealed again, this time to the Supreme Court, who heard oral arguments on October 10th, 1932. Because the federal government was now getting involved, the court had to figure out if the due process clause of the 14th Amendment made it so they could step in to determine whether or not the boys got a fair trial.
I mean, it's common sense, though. I mean, I understand. See, that's the only thing about that process. Yeah, they know they was wrong, man, from the jump, from the J-O-B, from the job, from the J-O-B, like we say, just from the jump.
Oh, it did. On November 7th, 1932, in a case which became known as Powell v. Alabama,
So Powell v. Alabama, this is one of the most famous
court
cases. Check it out.
announced its decision. It sided with the Scottsboro boys. It was 7-2.
See what I'm saying? So remember that. Powell versus Alabama. That's where it was 7-2, where they had to say, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm mad because of the damn 2. It should have been damn 9-0. Yeah, it should have been a 9-piece. But hey, some people wanted to see that happen. Unless he was getting paid.
The court reversed the convictions of the boys, saying the boys were denied due process and not given a fair trial. Not only were they not given enough time to reasonably defend themselves as protected by the Fifth Amendment, they also likely were not given the full opportunity for a right to a lawyer as guaranteed by the Sixth Amendment.
Right. Think about it. They had no time to call nobody. They did all that in one day. That's like some old movie life shit. Let's go even further. I will never understand why they were so hated. What the fuck? Why? Hated. I don't know. That's the whole thing. That's what always been the big story. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the South, like, why?
Story up. Despite this, the jury unanimously found them guilty, but Judge Horton said there needed to be new trials as this one, again, was not fair.
See? They tried listen, they kept charging them. And then another judge would say, whoa, wait a minute. You got to go back and do a new trial. So here's a whole nother trial. Man, I don't understand here.
Wood Patterson, and of course was not elected for doing that. The new judge was heavily biased against the defense, and while the
so there's another judge that came in the picture. It was so many judges.
The third trial did get one American on the jury still found Patterson guilty. The jury also found Norris guilty at his.
Now y'all both know they had one African American on there, and we all know ain't no way in the hell they had that brother scared. Come on, bruh. They had no evidence. They had no forensic evidence. They said that. The doctor said they ain't been penetrated. He probably looked at him like, nah, ain't no damn 8-9 niggas that went up in you. Your shit would have been tore up. Ain't no way in hell. We all know that. Doctor looked down like, nah, ain't nothing happened to you. You probably been messing around, letting them dudes up in the front caboose mess with you.
Retrial, so both Patterson and Norris returned to death row. Both would appeal their cases again. Meanwhile, all the others were also still trying to appeal their cases again. Fortunately for Patterson and Norris, the Supreme Court heard their appeals in February 1935. On April 1st,
So 1935, they heard their appeal, right? So we know. So the whole time, so we could skip past April 30th. So we're going to get to this one. Let's listen to this one.
Trial. Yet again, the jury found Patterson guilty of rape. However, this...
Now listen to that. Even though all this, what I'm trying to tell y'all, okay, so they found him, they had to redo a trial. Check this one out.
A guard who had abused him. The guard shot Ozzy in the head. Ozzy survived, but had trouble speaking, hearing, and remembering stuff the rest of his life.
Shit? Hold on, check this out.
1 year into his second sentence. What about the others? Well, on the way back to jail after Patterson's 75 years in prison sentence, Ozzy Powell, who had suffered from mental illness due to solitary confinement in prison, attacked a guard who had abused him. The guard shot Ozzy in the head. Ozzy survived, but had trouble speaking, hearing, and remembering stuff the rest of his life. Ozzy
You see what I'm saying? Think about that, dog. So he went through all that shit after being tried. Like they really, I don't know what it was with them. They hated these brothers, man, these young kids.
He wasn't released from prison until June 1946. In 1937, Alabama dropped all charges against 4 of the boys: William Robertson, Olin Montgomery, Eugene Williams, and Roy Wright. There is evidence that all 4 suffered from mental illness for the...
You think? Do you really think? Think about that. Of course they're going to suffer from mental illness. Bro, they probably was like, you don't even rape. Chris, I was just about to say that, dog. Bro, they was violated on a daily basis, bro. Facts.
rest of their lives. Wright served in the Army and worked as a merchant marine. In 1959, after coming home from a long trip at sea, he convinced himself that his wife had been cheating on him. He shot and killed her, and then killed...
Damn, I did not know that. So after all that, see what I'm saying? He went through a lot of shit a lot of them dudes did, man. Yeah.
Killed himself. Roy's brother, Andy Wright, was the last of the Scottsboro boys to be freed from prison in June 1950. He moved to New York. The next year, he was again accused of rape, but this time he was quickly found not guilty.
And you know why he's probably that? Because he probably was done like that. That's what's so messed up.
Oh, and by all jury. Charlie Weems, who suffered from permanent eye injuries after being gassed for reading communist books in prison, was released in 1943 and lived a relatively quiet life afterward.
Damn, he was gassed with his eyes. That shit crazy, bro. Man, I don't know what the hell.
Clarence Norris, the oldest of the Scottsboro boys and only one sentenced to death in the final trial, got out on parole in 1946 and went into hiding. In 1976, Alabama Governor George Wallace, of all people, pardoned him. Norris later also wrote a book about his experiences. As far as we know, he was the last of the Scottsboro boys to...
That's crazy. So the oldest one ended up being the last of the Scottsboro boys. Yeah. Hold up. When was this case again? Yeah, 1933. It's like, it went on 1932, 31 is when they got caught up, and it went on for forever. Oh, yeah. Let's go back. See, look. 1948.
In 1950, the same year he published a book describing what he had gone through, the FBI caught up with him and arrested him in Michigan, but the governor refused to send him back to Alabama. Patterson was later arrested for stabbing a man in a bar fight and died of cancer in prison in 1952.
Man, they messed them boys up. So they fought, for over 10 years. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this was like ongoing. Yeah, must read, Chris. You're right. So must read. Like, this is what I'm telling y'all. Like, it's a lot of salute to Jesse Owens, all them, you know what I'm saying? What we learned about all that growing up around here. Yeah. Yeah, ain't that messed up? For 10 years, these people was in jail. All of them, think about it, all of them came out messed up. They all came messed up because they didn't you got to think about it. This started from this guy. This guy right here. Let's go back and play him. All these
illness
people.
Due to solitary
Get that
confinement
book.
in prison, attacked
Definitely.
a guard who had abused him. The guard shot Ozzy in the head. Ozzy survived, but had trouble speaking, hearing, and remembering stuff the rest of his life. Ozzy wasn't released from prison until June 1946.
Now, look, 1932. He wasn't, after he got shot in the head, he was then released in 1946. And that's crazy as hell. Man, they went through hell, man. They treated them boys like shit.
In 1937, Alabama dropped all charges against 4 of the boys: William Robertson, Olin Montgomery, Eugene Williams, and Roy Wright. There is evidence that all 4 suffered from mental illness for the...
Now, those ones, they let them out. Yeah, the CO shot him. Yeah. That's what That's what I'm saying. Like they went through some shit. These young kids, imagine. And like all four of those right there, those are the four guys. They all went through mental health. So think about it. If you think about if all four of those went through mental health, you don't think that they was sexually abused? Them brothers was sexually abused, dog. Like my boy Chris said. They was the R. They got R'd up. That's why they reacted. Like, think about it. And the dude, listen to what the one guy, the guy standing up, the one right up there, he's the one that ended up killing his girl. Listen to this. Because again, detachment.
Rest of their lives. Wright served in the Army and worked as a merchant marine. In 1959, after coming home from a long trip at sea, he convinced himself that his wife had been cheating on him. He shot and killed her, and then killed himself.
See what I'm saying? All them young kids went through some hell coming out of that. Check your boy out right here.
His brother, Andy Wright, was the last of the Scottsboro boys to be freed from prison in June 1950. He moved.
So from 1932 to 1950, he was innocent and got locked up, was in jail. Yeah, sexually abused and mentally messed up.
The next year, he was again accused of rape. But this time, he was quickly found not guilty. Oh, and by an all-white jury. Charlie Weems, who suffered from permanent eye injuries after being gassed for reading communist books in prison, was released in 1943 and lived a relatively quiet life afterward.
So the average person did about 12, 13 years just on, what the hell, because they said so. Yeah, they were kids.
Clarence Norris, the oldest of the Scottsboro boys, and only one sentenced to death in the final trial, got out on parole in 1946 and went into hiding. In 1976, Alabama Governor George Wallace, of all people, pardoned him. Norris later also wrote a book about his experiences. As far as we know, he was the last of the Scottsboro boys to die on January 23rd, 1989, at the age of 76.
The Alabama legislature has voted to pardon the group infamously known as the Scottsboro Boys 80 years later.
On November 21st, 2013, Alabama pardoned the rest of the Scottsboro Boys and apologized for the events, even though the boys were all long gone. Today, the story of the Scottsboro Boys is fairly well known. Harper Lee's class.
That shit crazy. So that's the shit that they went out of as far as To Kill a Mockingbird, all that shit. People don't realize. Look at it.
Classic book To Kill a Mockingbird is at least partially inspired by their story, and there's even a musical about them that came out a few years ago. But few actually know the complete and frankly shocking real story of the Scottsboro Boys, a group of young men falsely accused of something and victims of an
Yeah, Chris said Tyler Perry, John Singleton passed away, RIP to him. Yeah, put it in thing we must support. Yeah, we got to, Chris. We got to. Yeah, 80 years too damn late. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That shit way too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. But that's what I'm saying. Think about it, Slugger, the way that shit went. That shit went crazy, dog. That shit is sad.
Unjust and corrupt Alabama judicial system.
So the Scottsboro Boys, man. I wanted to bring attention to that, to let y'all know about that and bring awareness. I think it's sad in history. A lot of people don't know nothing about that. And there's so many damn deep, rich history around here. Like Slugger said, that's America. They got stuff in Texas, on the West Coast, Midwest, you know what I'm saying? East Coast. I grew up on these, but man, it's crazy. Like here in the South, man, I think it's just crazy. A lot of this stuff is rich and is here. And I mean, it's crazy being 16, 15, 20 minutes away and knowing that much history that went on and nothing happened. They didn't get no money for it. You know what I'm saying? All these young boys end up dying. Yeah, when you say Tyler Perry isn't going to do it, she have a different agenda, is not telling the truth about our past. That's the truth. That's true. That's sad, because that would be a great story. I would want to know, from the young one. Imagine the youngest one, 13, having to be found not guilty, first of all, and then have a new trial because he couldn't take the death sentence. I mean, they couldn't execute him, but they put him on trial the first day for execution. They didn't give a damn. Yeah, I think this is crazy. Mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? And this is stuff that y'all need to share. Y'all need to put out there, man. Let people know about this, man. Again, it's called the Scottsboro Boys, Scottsboro, Alabama. All they got to do is Google Scottsboro Boys. It'll tell the story to go a little bit more in depth. Y'all saw it. So out of all those young men, they all went through mental health issues. The whole thing is just, double back to what we deal with. And they were dealing with that new age, what they call, bucking system. Like they tried to break those young men's spirits. They got out, but they still had to deal with mentally. Nobody gave them no help. They said, "Oh, my bad. We messed up. We'll let you out." But at the end of the day, all those men end up dying except one. And he published a book. Nobody wanted to hear that story, So I just wanted to bring awareness to y'all, let y'all know this, man. Salute to everybody that's coming in here rocking with me tonight. I just thought I'd do something a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? Bring awareness to what's going on. 160 in the building. Thank you. I appreciate y'all coming in here. I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. Yeah, like Slugger say, it's in America. It's everywhere. But again, I just wanted to bring awareness because again, I'm 20 minutes away. I wouldn't have never known this. I heard about this. Yeah, I found a ton of them on Amazon. Not sure which one. Too many authors. Yeah, so it's way different back in the days because penitentiary had cemetery that was on land and came up dead, especially our people. Yes, facts. But it's the fact that, you know what, Slugger, like, damn, for 13 years, damn near 13 years, these young men fought. I mean, like they said, every other year fought for their life. And they didn't do it. Everybody said, it's expensive. I ain't gonna lie, Jen. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Pretty expensive. You might can look at other places. Go on eBay or something like that. Maybe check on eBay. But yeah, it's very impactful because it tells you everything. It tells you all about from the youngest to the oldest. And like I said, them two hoes, they was just on one. And they got mad and they didn't make no money. And they got off a damn train and so happened, guess what? End up being Alabama. Their letters were published too in a book. I'm getting that one. Yeah, man, you'll be amazed, man. It's sad. I'm telling you, they did them young men wrong, man. A pair of J's for the mind, for real. Exactly, Chris. Yeah, thank you, Jersey. I appreciate you, King. Yeah, so I just want to bring awareness to, thank you, everybody, for coming in, rocking with your boy. I appreciate it. Chris, you already know. I ain't got to say no more. We already offline anyway. So that's my brother from another mother. And everybody else that came in here and rocked with your boy, I appreciate y'all for showing love. And again, man, I just want to bring, I am Chuck D's chick. You know what I'm saying, Jen? I actually am. I'm going to start doing that because I feel that at the end of the day, a lot of people are not aware, of what it is. You feel me? So that being said, I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. On that note, y'all already know. So let's do it like this.
You know what it is, man. I got my nigga K. What you got to say to these niggas? Yeah, real shit, real life. Here we go. Hey, I feel like Cross, I'm a motherfucking boss. I got the drip, and you know I got the sauce. I tell these fuck ass niggas get lost. Coming through your chimney like I'm goddamn Santa Claus. Hey, 2023, and you know I rock my chain. Nigga, boy, I'm grown, I ain't tryna play no games. Doing what we want, and we doing what we claim. It's crazy how they pussy niggas selling out for fame. Like, look at my neck, look at my worth, nigga. I'ma shine so hard, make it hurt, nigga. Been the way that I am since birth, nigga. Tabernacle in the stream, it hurts, nigga. I'm chosen. I be in front of the camera posing. You see that choker on my neck and it's frozen.
Salute my boy Mac Mills in the building. Salute.
I am not stressed. I passed the test. Look at my name. Look at my team. You know we gon' win. You know we gon' win. Until the end. You know what I get, Stone C, like my name is Smith. Niggas talking, but I know he ain't shit. Niggas talking, but I know he ain't shit. Run up on me, I'ma make you do flips. Do a bad flip. Niggas they cap like an actress.
Salute, show your love, man. You already know. I already love, King.
Every day I wake up, I'm on my grind. All that bullshit ain't on my mind. Don't need your help, my nigga, I'm fine. I'm real.
Man, salute to everybody came in rocking with your boy. You already know.
Riding in my whip and I be changing lane. Got my OGs saying I be staying in their brain. Cause I'm going so dumb and I hopped in the game. Everything that I got came from excessive pain. Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm a cross, and you know we going live.
Hey, what? Already, y'all. Salute, y'all. I really do appreciate y'all, man. Peace.